All right, let's get the show started. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Nintendo Enthusiast Class vs. Crass Podcast, the weekly podcast where everything we talk about here is Nintendo. Joining me tonight, my usual co-host, getting feedback. My crassy partner, Sean Long.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Good to be here. It's having fun.
Joining us as a last-second addition and probably the cause of this horrendous feedback, Mr. Shane from Rerez. How's it going?
Hi, it's going pretty good. Pretty awesome. I'm happy to be here today.
I'm happy to have you with us. Was it you causing the feedback, or was it actually me?
Do you not see the headphones?
Well, we all have headphones.
I think it was you.
Well, my headphones aren't for show. They actually have things going through them right now. So
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, mine are working too. This thing is plugged into something. All right, so thanks again, guys, for joining us. Who do we have here? I'm trying to get my bearings. We are 7 minutes into the hour, and we are totally caught off guard because Sean tried to throw a guest at me last second. I lost my shit. And then at 5 minutes, 10 minutes before, he's like, no, he can't make it. So then I'm like, screw it, we're bringing a guest anyway. And luckily, Shane was interested in joining us tonight.
I was sleeping. They called me while I was sleeping.
Well, this is way more interesting than sleeping anyways. All right, so tonight we're going to have something. There is seriously feedback coming from somewhere.
I don't hear anything.
Okay. You guys let us...
Ghost in your house.
Benjamin said he can't hear me or Shane.
Can't hear you or Shane?
Yes, and some nerd with a bad username said Sean and Shane are both a little quiet.
Which is literally his name. That's not Sean making fun of someone. That's
Yeah.
Some guy with a bad username. Yeah, I know him. He's always around here. Okay, why can't they hear you? Oh, the mysteries, the mysteries.
Hello?
Let's go with, I don't know, default should work here. I can hear you guys, but people can't hear you.
That's what people are saying. They are very quiet, and we all know that I am not a quiet individual.
And you're coming in loud and clear. Yeah, look, the young KGNA can hear us fine.
Okay, maybe it's just you guys are cool. I can hear you. All right, roll with it.
All right, let's do this. So for anyone who's new to the podcast, sorry because this is a terrible first impression, but what we usually do here is we go over what have you been playing, and that's where Sean and I and our guests go over what we've been playing on Nintendo platforms over the past week. After that, we get into the major Nintendo headlines for the past week and share our opinions on that. Lots of good stuff with the NX that came out this past weekend. We're going to get into that soon. Then we get into the, what do we do, Sean? We get into the Nintendo Fan Showcase. That's where Sean and I highlight a member of the community, whether they're an artist, cover artist, they do cool stuff for Nintendo fans. And then we wrap it up with a lightning round where you can toss up your questions and discussions. And that should be exciting tonight because if you have any questions or topics for Shane, he's here to answer them. You guys don't need to listen to Sean or I for once in your life.
Don't ask me questions, please. God, just can't deal with it.
Ask him all the secrets. It's not every day we see Shane in a Hyrulean shirt or a Triforce shirt.
Triforce, get it right. Okay.
Well, I can't see the other half. Hyruleans put that on their shields. You could say Hyrulean.
Yeah, I do.
All right, so Sean, you want to get into what have you been playing, or do we want to talk about the big bombs that are going around us tonight? Oh God, this guy disconnected again.
Really?
So Shane, I'm glad you're here with us. What have you been playing over the past week?
Hey everybody, I'll be replacing Sean today. I'm the new host of Class vs. Crass.
Co-host.
And when I'm in the game, you know I'm Class. And Jason over there, well, anyway, no, I'm kidding. You still have the cup of wine.
Cup of water, actually.
Cup of water. Is that one of these Star Wars cups you had at your place?
It is the Subway cups.
Subway cups. I wish I got those. So what have I been playing? Well, I played Shovel Knight with you, the co-op mode using an amiibo.
You did. That was fun.
Yeah, and that would be my most recent. That's the newest Nintendo thing I've played recently.
Mhm.
I gotta say, very impressed with that. I really enjoyed that because it almost feels like a two-player Mega Man game.
Mm-hmm.
And now I really want a two-player Mega Man game. more than anything else in the world.
Really? So after reflecting on that, you actually want one now? Because I remember I pointed it out while we were playing. You're like, that would just lead to so much rage.
I know, but I like it if you're the person in front. Because then you're just pissing off your other friend that you're playing with. There were parts of the Shovel Knight game I didn't enjoy too much, but honestly, I mean like the multiplayer aspect there. But I had fun with it personally to a degree that I didn't think I would. So
Yeah.
there were rage-induced parts to it. That's for sure.
But if you're the guy behind, you can always launch like attacks to the guy in front and slow him down, like it freezes him in place. You just probably didn't explore that with your shovel.
This is true.
Yeah.
Chivalry.
Welcome back, dude. Where were you? Macho Man.
I had to run downstairs because someone was at my door, and then I don't know what happened.
Hey, Sean, we got a new viewer shout out to Donnie St. Pierre, first time catching us live.
Donnie.
So I was about to like bring us into this really hot topic that's going on tonight in the YouTube world, and then you disconnected.
No, you were about to ask me what I've been playing lately.
Yeah, and I said before we get into that, let's talk about the bombs falling around us.
Oh, okay.
So for anyone who, I don't know, doesn't know, we're just going to spend 5-10 minutes on this, not too much, because it's not really Nintendo related, but it affects YouTube, it affects Nintendo enthusiasts, because this is our platform of broadcast. If you're not aware, there's this big thing, you know those React videos actually affect the gaming community too. Sean, you want to bring us into this, because I know you were quite passionate about it about an hour ago. See your video.
Basically, so there's this group called the Fine Bros, and if you've ever seen teens react to NES or teens react to Game Boy, elderly react to stuff, they're the people behind them. That production. It's an interesting production. It's not content that's necessarily something I enjoy because I think a lot of it is acting. I mean, what teenager, that actually is somewhat into video games doesn't know who someone like Mario or Link is, but that's besides the point. They make their money, good for them, whatever. The problem is that one of the very first guys in the YouTube community who noticed Nintendo Enthusiast channel when we were at like 2,000 subs is a guy named 8-Bit Eric, who's a good friend of mine. He gave us a shout out just completely out of the blue, and it kind of helped propel us a little bit. It gave us some positive momentum. And Eric basically made some videos of his reaction to those videos, to Teens React and whatnot. And he got hit with copyright claims, but not to the degree where it was just, okay, you can't monetize this. It was to the degree of where he was not allowed, that video was not allowed to be seen worldwide. And so that really, that bothered me, and obviously that bothered him. And they're trying to trademark the React thing, and they're trying to create a network where you can they're basically something like America's Got Talent, and you know how there's Britain's Got Talent. The Got Talent part is a licensing thing, and they're basically trying to license the React sort of thing, and that's terrible. It's a terrible thing for YouTube, because if you remember many years ago on YouTube, reaction videos to videos were a common thing. You would see under the main video, people could record a reaction to it, and it would be right under there, and it would be like spotlighted. So I don't know. To me, it's just very sleazy. It's very sleazy that they picked on Eric, who's obviously not. These people had at one time.
Hey, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a bit. 8-Bit Eric, his videos got taken down recently, right? Or was this a while back? Because when you watch what the Fine Brothers did and their announcement video that came out 4 days ago announcing all this, they made it sound like, hey, we've got a brand that you can make reaction videos in, and that's what you're going to be part of by joining this React world or whatever. You can be part of this, and you can still make your own React videos in your own style, but if you take our brand, that's a no-no. But if you want to use our brand, you can, and here you go, we invite you to do it. But now 8-Bit Eric did not use their brand.
Because first off, these videos were made way before.
Oh, did he?
See, this is how this works. The moment he used their footage, he used their branding, right? That's why they got claimed. Remember, it wasn't necessarily, you can see on Eric's video, it wasn't necessarily the Fine Brothers that claimed him, it was the network,
right?
The YouTube that claimed him. And the Fine Brothers did just with our network to remove those claims and stuff. But see, that's come late, like really late. When Eric's talking about it, and I know Eric quite well, that came. Released a video saying they don't like if you have any issues. A long time ago when that happened, I remember when he made those videos. Wasn't like yesterday. It was quite some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently this has been going on for a really long time, and it just looks like the entire community is just having this huge backlash against the Fine brothers. To be honest, I'm surprised we're seeing as many people upset about this, because I've seen other things happen on YouTube and people didn't really seem to care about it at all. This is just a very interesting issue where we're seeing it happen in such a wide band, where people are just massively unsubscribing from the Fine brothers as fast as they can.
Well, it's kind of a movement. They kind of came across as very shady, whether that was their intention or not. Obviously, at heart, I'm sure that they wanted to grow their business, make money, not necessarily, I'm a firm believer that most people don't necessarily go out of like bad intention to go out of their way and do things. They just didn't necessarily think of their messaging right or think how to approach this right. And if you look back at the video, even at the end, they say things that are just a little touchy.
They're condescending.
Yeah, exactly, condescending.
And to me, it's like, don't mess with people I like. Don't mess with my friends and shit like that. And I mean, it's just yes, I understand that they're facing the ramifications of their network, but with them being as big as they are, I'm sure that they have quite a bit of pull within their network. And honestly, it may not be the situation I see it as, but I'm the type of person where I see it as, you got caught and now you're trying to backpedal, because honestly, I feel very honestly that if Eric's video did not go viral on Reddit, I mean, Eric got, probably close to 300,000 views on his video right now, which is huge for a channel with 25,000 subscribers. And it's bigger than anything he's done in a long time. I feel that if Eric's video was somewhat silenced and muffled, maybe 5-10K views or something like that, this wouldn't have even blown up like that. And I don't think they would have made an apology video, and I think things would have gone on status quo. That's just me, though.
Yeah, it's a very strange situation going on with this, and honestly, like, I don't know, like, guys, I'm gonna say it. I don't care about React videos. Am I the only one who like?
Oh, no.
I don't think nobody in this room probably cares.
No, I can't stand them.
Okay. I've watched 3 Fine Brothers videos, and guess what? They're the ones that are related to gaming. I watched kids try and use an old computer, kids try and use DOS, and kids try and use NES or whatever.
That one hurt.
And I think it like a cassette tape player too. And I watched those just out of enjoyment of seeing the younger generation try and get used to old technology. And then the funny thing is, you can throw a typewriter in front of me, even though that's way before my time, and I still know how to use a typewriter. But these kids seem to be so dumb and stupid that they had no idea how to put a tape in a tape player. I mean, come on, guys. That's like not learning how to flush the toilet at 5. The whole thing was just unbelievably stupid, and I have no idea why those videos got as big as they were, other than the fact that they're enjoyable to watch. So they are, and that's fine. But when you start watching people's reactions to trailers, and I got friends that do it, and it's cool, I get it, right? Come on, man. Do you need to sit there and watch somebody's... Are you so devoid of emotion and an intelligence that you can't just watch the trailer on your own merits and share with that conversation? Did you need to rob somebody of their own impressions to bring that onto yourself? Is that literally what YouTube has become? Instead of sharing and creating a huge conversation amongst an amazing community, we're just spouting the first words that come to our mouths whenever we see a trailer and go, well, that Deadpool sure looks fun. And he liked it, so I must like it too. Seriously, guys, come on. It's getting weird now.
I'm completely with you. Like, I love Eric to death, but I fucking hate reaction videos. Like, and
I loved your reaction video to E3's new Dance Just Dance.
Yeah, because
to me, let me make that one thing really clear. What Eric did was a joke. It's a reaction to a reaction video. That's
mocking.
a joke, right?
No,
He's mocking those people. He's not doing that, like.
To be fair, Eric does do real ones, like with the
I
Star
know
Wars
he does.
trailers and stuff. But yeah, to me, reaction videos are basically just like a lot of fakeness. Like when much love to the Smash Brothers community.
I was just about to bring up the Smash Brothers community.
much love to all those guys. No disrespect, but a lot of them, like when you're crying and you're like, oh my god, like dancing around, like if it's really that big of a deal to you, you need to like go outside or something. Like I've never, like when we did our show during the Game Awards, like the only thing where I got somewhat excited about was Psychonauts 2, and I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. Like that's a normal reaction, not like dancing around your house and crying
and breaking things.
breaking-
Although, you say it's not normal, but I do believe that there are some people that just feel that much emotion and that it just explodes out of them. I don't think it's that common. I think, though, that there are a few genuine out there, and I think that there's a lot of copycats who are faking it way more.
When I remember the first time I heard I remember the first time I literally could have been in my house reading a newspaper and I could have heard everyone's reactions without turning on a computer was when they announced the Final Fantasy VII remake and then the Shenmue 3 announcement back to back. You could have been in a basement, locked away from anything. You could have heard the vibration on the ground from that announcement. But still, even when I was watching that, I was like, yeah,
I thought it was just me.
camera off. Just saying. You know what I mean? Like, I it's cool. I know everyone's going to be excited about that, and I know people want to capture that, but those emotions are shared in context. And to watch what the React brothers, can we call them that? What the Fine brothers do is literally just videos about other people's reactions. Dear God, I watched a video of them today apologizing about doing whatever the heck they're doing, and I was like, wow, so that's what they look like? I've never watched a video with them. I thought the Fine Brothers was literally a name. There's actually brothers. There's two of them. I just thought it was just a made up name like Waka Waka Ding Dong or Rerez, but really that's a real thing.
Yeah. I had no idea either that was legitimately two individual people. Yeah, just I don't know. I don't like the situation because of the ramifications it could have for YouTube. And I'm glad that people are upset and that people are speaking out about it because it needs to be done.
I do find it interesting. If anyone here in the chat's not aware, there actually is a live. Don't go watch it though right now. Wait until this is over. But there is a live stream where you can actually see the subscribers of their channel go down. Like, or
Dark Side Phil was streaming it, and his entire channel just got deleted because of copyright claim.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Yeah, his Twitch account anyway. I don't know if his YouTube did. You can't stream that content from another person's thing. You just can't do that. You're not allowed to. And he did it. And
wait, you can't stream their subscriber number?
On Twitch, you can't stream certain things, and that's one of the things you can't stream because if you stream on Twitch while streaming on YouTube at the same time, and you have a Twitch partnership, they cut you out.
Oof.
He did something like that. I don't know the whole story. No one's talking about Dark Side Phil right now. We're just talking about the Fine brothers.
Gee, like I said, lots of bombs all over the place. So we're gonna be careful about what we say, I guess. I don't want nothing happening over here. Any other thoughts on that topic?
For yourself.
Yeah, you've already gotten it out of your system. Like I said, if there was any reaction videos of me, everything would just be like, I've got the least emotions than any human being I know. I react to everything like a rock. So
I would do the same thing if someone came at you, even though I hate you. I would do the same thing for sure.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. And for the record, I did, before I made my video, I messaged Eric and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing something. Is that cool with you? He said, yes, of course. Show it to me when you're done. He thanked me for doing it. So not trying to ride coattails or anything, just
I would like to say this as someone who's kind of dabbled in this in the past for copyrights and stuff like that. And I won't dive too much into it, but what I am to take from it is they're trying to copyright using the name React and whatever it is as their business and their property, which is legally something they should have actually done. If you have a big YouTube channel out there, you should copyright the name as a show name, as a trademark in the name of its usage. From what I could tell, they're not copyrighting the word React. It's like
no, they trademark.
Freaked out. Yeah. Well, it's not like you can't use the word. It's the words in. The word has existed previously before they came along. What they're trying to do is copyright the word's usage in a certain context. Like, for instance, when Sony was trying to copyright Let's Play, that one was directly at all of us. That was literally going, oh, we want to own your stuff. Hey, Game Grumps, you gotta pay us every time I use that word.
Yeah, but
That's how they sound.
Yeah, I would think that's how they sound.
of course
I
that's
would
how they
imagine
sound.
so. Yeah.
You need to come up with a voice for every company, for every non-Nintendo company. I really like your voice. Your voice.
Nintendo is like, Heropi, we are Nintendo.
What?
I just hear Reggie Fils-Aimé's voice in my head now. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I just Pizza Hut, and he goes back to work. I don't know.
What?
Pizza Hut what he used to work for? Is that
Yeah,
who it was?
he
Really?
used to work.
Yeah,
Uh,
Pizza Hut.
Huh.
Everybody forgets that,
I,
right?
I didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah, he was like vice president of something at Pizza Hut.
Everybody, it's hilarious, right? Like everybody forgets. Nintendo is now co-managed or run by the dude from Pizza Hut. Everyone forgets that. This wasn't a guy that was in the game industry. This is literally a guy that was like, you know what would make pizza better? If you stuffed cheese in the crust.
Hey,
That's
Brilliant idea, though. That
That
was
man
a
genius.
brilliant idea. You know, I don't know if that was him, but I'm going to tell you right now, okay? That's who's responsible. If you want to know why Pizza Hut's so successful, you knock at Reggie Fils-Aimé's door and you go, man, I like your work. Oil on the bottom of the pan.
That's a multitasker.
Hey,
They closed my local Pizza Hut.
Oh man, poor you.
blame Reggie. Can we get a hashtag on that?
Seriously, let's start a movement.
There's already enough of a movement for tonight. All right, so now let's get back to some. Actually, this is a good segue back into Nintendo stuff. Reggie, Pizza Hut, and Sean. I want to know what you were playing because you were playing Final Fantasy Explorers specifically. I want to know what you thought of that beyond your review.
I didn't. It was okay. It was very mediocre, and it just wasn't very fulfilling or necessarily very fun. And if you look at the video, there's actually quite a few dislikes on there. So I guess I struck a nerve with some people, but I'm sorry. If I wanted to play a Monster Hunter style game, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're comparing it to Monster Hunter." It's like, yeah, no shit. It's basically Monster Hunter with a Final Fantasy skin to the T. Like literally, there's a hub world, and then you go fight monsters in an island, and you go to certain places and you kill certain creatures, which is essentially Monster Hunter, and has a Final Fantasy skin, and it's slower, it's not as interesting, and there's no jump. So why should anyone buy that? Like, if you're a Final Fantasy diehard, you're not gonna like it because I mean, the costumes and stuff are cool, the weapons are cool,
Yeah.
but I mean, aside from the aesthetics, there's no Final Fantasy sort of elements, and that's fine. They try to do something different. I just don't think they did it well. Now, that's not to say that Final Fantasy Explorers 2 or a sequel to that can't be very successful as long as they've learned from it. But I don't know. I was kind of on the lower end of the review spectrum, it seems like. I gave it a 6, and I completely stand by it.
So there was no story, and let me know. I adjusted my mic, so guys, let me know if it's better like this.
Oh, and one thing I did want to mention is in the video review, we borrowed that footage from Tillman, who helps us and works with us. So no, I did not play the first 3 hours of the game and then just review it. I saw a couple comments based on that. That was just that footage.
You mean you didn't play it in Japanese? I thought you were totally fluent.
I didn't play it in Japanese. That was the footage that we had access to, so that we could do a video review to get the message out on multiple platforms.
Yeah, basically.
Just prefacing that, we're still waiting. Jason's getting a 3DS capture card, so 99% of that stuff will be alleviated when that happens. But for now, Tillman has been working with us and providing us with 3DS footage for our reviews.
Right, because we promised 3DS video reviews for you guys in 2016, and we have 2 out already. So I had to find ways to deliver on that. And Tillman helped out graciously. Very, very good guy. All right. What have I been playing? Anything else you've been playing, Sean, that you want to talk about, or can we get into headlines?
I got one more thing. I actually got a reproduction cartridge from a company. It's X-Men vs. Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo. It is a PS1 port, dumbed down for the Super Nintendo, and the cartridge is nice. We'll say that.
You don't have it?
No, I have the game.
It's just not near you.
I'm doing a review for it. It's not a very it's exactly what you would expect it to be. Impressive on a few levels, such as actually having the X-Men characters and their moves in the game. But it's
Sean,
not
stop
a game
spinning.
I'm owning. Huh?
Stop spinning your chair.
Why?
Makes us crazy.
It's comfy.
Makes the crazy people go off.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. The reproduction cartridge itself is a very high quality build, and I probably will be getting future things from the company very reasonably priced. But I'll talk about that more in depth on the side channel. But yeah, so I've been playing that, and another that Haunted Halloween '85, which is a reproduction that I got sent. And that's pretty much it. I've just been buying a lot of stuff recently. I bought a lot of shit this past week that I need to start playing.
Isn't it the story of all our lives? As for me, Xenoblade, Paper Jam, nothing much to talk about it. I'm playing everything you guys are playing. It's really fun. Let's get into some headlines. Let's. First up, NX Rumors coming out 2016. If anyone here has not watched Nintendo at 90, and you really should because it's an awesome format, has much better faces in it now. Lots of rumors over the past week suggesting NX coming out in 2016. Let's do a quick recap. GameStop sent out a survey. The NX was on there saying which console you would want or what products you would want to get in the next 12 months. They put the NX on there. Personally, I don't think that's worth anything. Then we have indie developer B Plus Games, who was saying he has an NX game done, but he's just waiting on Nintendo to release it. So he was complaining about that and saying he has to release it on Steam instead. And he was talking about cross functionality. We also got a memory chip company. Do you remember the name, Sean? It was not
Began with an M. They've done memory for Nintendo products before.
So in one of their, it was a business report or something, financial report?
It was their financial ending 2015 fiscal year financial report.
They were talking about some chip in the NX console coming out in 2016. Is that right?
Yeah, providing memory for the NX, which is coming out in 2016, which is paraphrasing what they said, but essentially what they said.
Right, so that sounds pretty legit. And then finally we have Bandai, journalist turned analyst. How you put it?
He's very well respected in the community, though. I don't usually go for the analysts, but he's very well respected.
Right, and he claimed that Bandai Namco leaked a report, or what was it? How did he find out that they were working on Smash for NX?
Hold on.
Okay.
My guest just said, "Oh God, it's too late, isn't it?"
What do you mean it's too late?
The guy.
Him. Yeah, yeah. It's much too late.
That really wasn't about necessarily 2016. The summary of that was that he's got reputable sources saying that Bandai Namco is working on several launch titles for the NX, and that one of them is Smash Brothers. He didn't say if it was a new entry, which of course I don't think it is, or a complete Game of the Year sort of edition entry, which I think is much more possible. So that was what they were saying.
Okay, so lots of good information. We've talked about it. Let's take all this and toss it to Shane. Because Shane, I have no idea what you're going to say, and you say crazy things sometimes.
So, do I think the Nintendo NX is going to come out in 2016? I know it's going to be announced in 2016, and I personally think it's either going to come out you know what? Yeah, it's probably going to come out this Christmas. The reason why I think that is not because of any of these rumors, but just because I understand Nintendo and the way they think. And the way they think is usually in strange, crazy ways that usually don't make a lot of sense to other companies. But when Nintendo does something, they do it with a sense of importance that doesn't really matter to any other video game company out there, but they kind of aim at their consumers in a strange way. I think that they are very aware of the downturn in Wii U sales and 3DS sales and how sharp that's going to affect their bottom line. Come Christmas, they're going to have barely any games on the system that are new that people are going to want to get because they're trying to gear up for the NX release. The NX release is probably going to have to be something that's very important, and it's going to have something on it that's going to drive people to it. They're going to have to include some kind of game. Probably going to be a sports title of some sort, but I imagine that this game system isn't going to really encompass anything that is similar to what you've seen with the Wii U or the Wii so far. So why not include one of the best video games in the world? Boys and girls, I don't think that they're actually going to include a brand new Super Smash Brothers. I think they're just going to include a Super Smash Brothers that has all the levels from all the old games and all the characters from all the old games. Take all their money into it, make one large game, and then bundle it in with the system as a cash grab so that anyone that buys the system would buy it. Think about this. The best-selling Wii game ever was Wii Sports. Not because it sold separately, but because it was bundled with the Wii U. Bundled with the original Wii. So why not have the Nintendo NX be bundled with a game everybody absolutely wants? That way, anybody that buys the system goes out and buys it. See, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4, when those originally came out, they were not bundled with games. The Wii U was the first Nintendo console since the Wii to not be bundled with the game as well.
Wait,
Nintendo,
what? Repeat that? Did
the
you
Wii
say?
U was the first system to be bundled without a game since the Wii U.
Nintendo Land.
No, but that's remember there was 2 versions of Wii U sold. One
That's
didn't have it.
true. Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're correct.
I bought the one that came with it, the black one, but then there was
the white one didn't.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, when they sold the original the original NES, and I believe most of the Super Nintendos were bundled with a game,
Yes.
Mario Land or Super Mario Brothers. So essentially, what they should do for this system is bundle it with a Smash Brothers like game or Super Mario Brothers game to basically give an incentive for people to buy it. I think they should do this. Make what's basically Super Smash Brothers universe and include all the Super Smash Brothers characters, levels, and everything. Secure all the licensing and just roll it into one big game so that everyone can play it and have this big old fun time playing the thing. And at the same time, why not include some extra stuff? They have to include things that aren't just hardware specific. See, everyone's thinking Nintendo NX is going to do okay because of some new hardware magic or the fact that it's better than the PlayStation 4, better than Xbox One. That doesn't matter. They could release the exact same specs as the PlayStation 4 and no one will buy it, okay? If they do that, they're in a huge, dangerous situation because they have to sell a brand new video game system at the same time a PlayStation 4 is being sold and not losing any money. And they could Sony could just go, we're going to cut half the price off the PlayStation 4 and completely destroy Nintendo. And, at some point, Microsoft is going to have to make a smaller version of the Xbox One. So the Nintendo NX is probably going to have to be a system that does something different. And the only thing I can see them really doing different is basically turning the Nintendo catalog of video games from the past and from the present into some kind of Netflix-like service that would be introduced on the NX. See, I think the NX, what it's supposed to be, isn't supposed to be just a repeat of all these systems we've been seeing now. It's supposed to be the next generation of systems, the way Nintendo's supposed to do it. Nintendo isn't very good with online stuff, so I don't know if this would work. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. For $8 a month, and they offered me every single NES, every single Super Nintendo, every single N64 game, and maybe a hefty chunk of the GameCube library, oh, you're goddamn right that I would buy that.
Why not the Wii games too while they're at it?
Well, the controller has to include Wii support as well, right? See, whatever the controller is, it has to be able to use Wii
Now,
games.
interesting that you bring up the controller because also from our source, B Plus Games, this indie developer, he made a comment alluding that the NX control scheme allowed him more options in his game. And now his game is called Puzzle Box Setup, and the way you play it is you have your 3DS. This is how you normally hold your 3DS. So you play it like this, touchscreen up, and then you push bunch of colors as the screen moves, and you fill in these pixels, and that's what the game. So I don't really know what he means by the NX gives him more freedom with his game. But basically, it sounds like to support this kind of game, you would need a touchscreen. So I'm thinking the NX is going to have touchscreen controls.
I think the last time I was on the podcast with you guys, I mentioned that I believe what the NX is going to be is it's going to be a standalone Wii unit that gets bundled with the 3DS, and or Wii U unit that gets bundled with the 3DS, and that way they actually connect with each other, and that way you can take your controller on the go and play games, and then come back and hook it up for more power at home. I think that's what they really should do because, like I said last time, Nintendo's mobile market is bigger than any of the console markets right now. There are more 3DSs sold and in the wild than there are PlayStation 4s or Xbox Ones, I think, combined. And if what Nintendo did was turn their mobile market into their console market, they would completely destroy every other console manufacturer on the planet in one night. It's not even a question of if they could do that. Just think about this. If the next portable system and the next home console were the exact same thing, whatever the system would be, the Nintendo NX would totally destroy whatever Sony's had done. because basically the only reason people are developing any games for the PlayStation 4 right now is because the PlayStation 4 has the largest market support. So everyone is basically throwing games their way. But if this new NX system incorporates similar technology to what the PlayStation 4 is and has a similar structure and design so they can just kind of port games over, then the really cool aspect of that is that this little portable system can be used in the same way that the Dreamcast almost had a VMU, or the way that Game Boy Advance worked with certain old GameCube games. See, Nintendo has always confused me because they've always had a great mobile market and a really interesting console market, but they rarely ever make them merge. And it's been slow to get to that point.
They've
And
tried.
I've always been told that it's been because Nintendo's mobile division and Nintendo's home console division, they don't talk to each other. Well, guys, open the fucking doors and start having a conversation, because the fact that this hasn't happened yet is beyond me.
Wait. In response to that, they just, within the past, I want to say 6 months, they merged their, I think it was one of like the first things that the new President Kimishima did was merge the handheld and console divisions together. So now they're all together in one facility.
Well, that's good.
That's good.
How long has the company been around for? Did it take them that long? You know, it's like, hey, you know the guys that are making the engines at the Ford plant? Well, maybe they should be in the same room as the guys making the bodies. Like, really? You think? Maybe? Yeah, I think so. Maybe that'd be a good thing. I mean, I can get having the game developers in another suite, but dude, come on. If you're making hardware for the company, you've got to be talking to other people that are making hardware in the company. It's insane. It's insane that Nintendo's been around for this long. Dude, the Game Gear people and the Sega Genesis people were in the same room. You're telling me you couldn't do that at Nintendo for this long? Come on. If Nintendo does this, and the Nintendo NX turns out to be a merged system of the mobile and home console market, that's the end of the video game industry for consoles, my friends. Nintendo wins, and no one's ever going to take them out. Because in one quick evening, everyone that bought the 3DS, everyone that's bought the old Nintendo systems will move over to the console portion of whatever Nintendo's next system is. And if it does incorporate elements of the PlayStation 4's architecture into their own architecture, just matching the same specs and everything, done deal. It's over. Dude, if they can just do what they did with the 3DS and just repeat it again with a home look, if they just make a 3DS that I can plug up to my TV, I will be happy. That's all it really needs to be. Seriously.
With a little bit more power, of course.
Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't have to have power. Dude, you
Well,
make the 3DS and
no.
plugs up to my TV and you charge it for like $50, it would sell like nothing else.
Because he's right though, because if power was really the biggest indicator, then the Vita would have destroyed the 3DS, the PSP would have destroyed the
Okay, that is clearly, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 3DS's library destroys the Vita, doesn't it? I don't have a Vita, so I can't attest to its library.
The reason why that happened, it's so easy to port games to the Vita. The reason why the Vita never got picked up was because people didn't want to get it because developers weren't making a lot of games for it because the audience wasn't there. Dude, the Game Gear was the Game Gear and the PSP are the most threatening systems to have ever come out from any other company for the Game Boy. The Game Gear, and I was a Game Gear kid. I still own my Game Gear, okay? Like, it is in that room over there. And the only reason that Game Gear exists was because Sega had such an impact on that market. But it was such a much more... It was literally... Sega literally took a Master System and they went... and then they stuck it in a small little box and they went color screen. That was insane, dude. 6 AA batteries to make that thing work. When my friends had Game Boys and they turned it on in the middle of the night to play some game in their beds, I was like, you can't see crap. But me, I can see everything because the light would just turn on and blind you with nuclear radiation. But see, that's the thing. Nintendo didn't need any of that stuff, right? They were just like, turn on a light, you idiot. And that's all they needed, okay? Every time they made something, it was always done at a cheaper cost, but the games, there were so many good games and the library mattered so much. So if they can just take that same ideology, but they got to get the third party support, they can take that same ideology and merge mobile with home, they would be unstoppable. Look, even Apple and Google with the Android platform couldn't compete against Nintendo doing that because there are cell phones out there that don't sell highly as 3DS does. Just think about that.
And plus, Nintendo's about to get into the mobile market too.
Yep.
Like if they could easily, I mean, it's exactly what you're saying. They could easily they could go from, no relevancy in the home console market outside of Nintendo fans as far as mass appeal is concerned. No foothold in the mobile market currently, and they're strong handheld. And then just say, oh, fuck it, let's just take over all three and just do it in literally a year and a half, 2 years.
The potential of the NX is absolutely disgusting. Like, let's have a Nintendo circle jerk here. Like, if they play their cards right, like, what is being teased, what is being leaked, like you're saying, they can corner every market of gaming and just make it so good. They've got the... Sorry, I was seeing weird things. They've got the rich library. They've got... Sure, they don't have the power, but a true gamer understands that it's the game. It's not necessarily, you know, how many polygons you're staring at.
Well, it's not even that it needs to be more powerful. I mean, we're at a point right now with the PS4 and the Xbox One where, you know, let's face it, a lot of companies are starting to get tapped out. How much more can you do? I mean, yes, there's always more you can do, but how much of an incremental difference is it? Is it really worth, you know, the only reason that well, I shouldn't say that, but graphics aside, the only reason people really upgraded from the PS3 to the PS4, because to me, there's still not a huge difference. Like, yes, it's better. There's better textures, better lighting, etc. But you know, at the end of the particle effects, but at the end of the day, it's not like, you know, what we grew up with, NES to Super NES, Super NES to N64. The reason that people continue to buy or moved over was because that's where the hype was. That's where the new releases were going. So, and to all the people that say, oh, third parties are never going to come back to Nintendo, that's the biggest load of bullshit in the world. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't see Mega Man and Smash Brothers. You wouldn't see Cloud and Smash Brothers. Why? Because money talks. All they care about is money. If something's going to make them money, they will do it in a heartbeat. There's no hard feelings. These companies, if that was the case, Sega and Nintendo never would have worked with each other because they fucking hated each other. Like, it's all about money. So if Nintendo plays their cards right, which from what we've seen so far in the leaks and what they've, you know, what little has come out, it looks like they are. It's scary, man.
So here's my prediction. I'm calling it now. I think we're going to get a reveal of the NX. We're going to see the system. We're going to know what it does before the end of the winter, and that means in the next 2 months. If we have indie developers who already have NX games completed, that they ported their games, that means development like has to be going further along than maybe any of us think. And March is the month that Nintendo releases their first mobile game. Is that right? Mitomo? It's
Yes.
March. And don't they always have their investor meeting around March, April?
Yes.
It just, everything to me lines up perfectly. You kick off the year strong with bam, NX launch, bam, here's our mobile game, bam, investors, suck it, invest in us.
Yeah, and then you roll into E3.
E3, and then you get the gamers excited at E3, like, here are the games, just like what PlayStation kind of did. Was it PlayStation or Sony?
Yeah.
They unveiled in February, and they're like, this is all the specs, this is the controller, this is what you can expect, and they're like, bam, bring on the games. And then they...
Here's something that I really want to see. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
No,
I didn't interrupt you.
no, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Here's something I desperately want to see, and I know it's kind of a pipe dream. Now, I was just mentioning Nintendo doing some kind of streaming service for their old games and stuff. I want to kind of explain to you why that's such a genius thing. Sean, you live in the U.S. When you have your cell phone on you, do you have a Netflix subscription?
I do.
Do you ever watch your Netflix subscription on your cell phone anywhere when you're in public?
Occasionally, you know, if I'm at an office or something, or maybe stuck at work.
Is it a little expensive though? Is the connection always stable? Do you find yourself like thinking, oh boy, this download's going to take a lot out of me just to watch something on Netflix?
Yeah, I do think that.
It's a big concern, right?
Yes, of course.
What if Nintendo were to stream you their entire back catalog of NES games, which is probably, I don't know, 10 megabytes?
Wait,
You ever
what?
think about that? See,
Yeah.
when you go to stream a movie, that's like 600 megabytes. If it's high definition, it's in the gigs. But when you actually stream a video game, all you have to do is stream a coded library straight to your device that's way less than a gig, and it would have the entire back catalog of NES games. In fact, we could go even so far and to see someone could stream an N64 game at its max size. An N64 game is quite literally 64 megabytes.
Yep.
Right? 512 megabytes, I think, for Resident Evil 2 and Conker's Bad Fur Day. I could be wrong. But
256.
Okay, super small. It's really not that big. You could stream that stuff easily, and basically all they have to do is do this. Hey, anytime anywhere where Netflix won't stream, our service will, because of how
Hang on.
little the data would be.
When you're saying streaming game, are you suggesting the game is actually stored on the server, or does the game get sent to your device and you play it on your device?
See, you got to pay for tons and tons of servers in order to run that stuff. But NES games can be easily emulated. So can Super Nintendo. So can N64. And heck, we're at a point now where GameCube games are also easily emulated. Now, while GameCube games can be in forms of gigs large, you can just get a really tiny game sent to you straight and encoded, and only works for that time when you have that subscription service.
And plus, you have to remember the silent partner in the room, DNA, where everyone's like, oh, it's all about the mobile games. Not bullshit. It's all about building up an online infrastructure. And if there's a company that can help them get to a sufficient level of something like this, DNA is the company.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe you're going to be able, we talked about this last week, what if you can access the subscription service, I don't know if this would ever work, but through your PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, wouldn't that be crazy? Like through the browser, you can access Nintendo games somehow.
No, stop
See,
it.
here's the thing. If they were to offer an $8 a month package or something like that, like what Sony's doing with PlayStation Now is really cool, but they charge way too much for it. PlayStation Now needs to be bundled with their PlayStation Plus service.
Yes.
The fact that it's not is insane. I have no interest to even try the damn thing. PlayStation Now should be a service that is included with PlayStation Plus. And if Nintendo were serious about charging like some kind of cost per month for people to play, which by the way, I know everyone out here is going, no! Okay, but what if they did it and there was a good reason, okay? Like the monthly feature gave you a back catalog of games so big no other company could even match them. If they could do stuff like that, they could just go to Sega and go, hey, Sega, you guys suck and you don't know what you're doing. Can we just have your back catalog of like everything you've ever done and just, stream it to people playing games? And Sega will go, because they're dumb. Like they're real stupid right now. And they probably do it for like 10 cents in a popsicle. But like other companies like ColecoVision, anybody that still has those brands and identities, Nintendo could just buy them up and bring them all in and then just shift those things out onto streaming services. Nintendo could do that because of their long-standing like association and relationship with these companies. Microsoft could do it, but they're not at all. Sony has the service to do it, but they're like, we only do Sony games. We don't want anything else. And they don't even remember the fact that they were on MSX once upon a time. But Nintendo sure as heck knows about that stuff. See, Nintendo has that kind of influence, and they could do it. And you know what? Of all the companies, they're now the only Japanese video game manufacturer around. Because see, Sony, they just turned into an American company.
Yep.
So that kind of puts them in a weird position when trying to get deals over in the good old land of where they were born.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know what's funny about what you were saying is that you could almost look to the virtual console, and maybe not the virtual console on the Wii U, but the virtual console on the Wii was amazing. You had TurboGrafx 16 games, Master System games, Genesis games, arcade ports of games. Like the library on there was insane. So obviously they could go to these companies once again and be like, hey, so remember that thing we did on the Wii? Well, we're gonna stream it now, and we're gonna make it huge, and here's some residuals. And I'd be like, okay.
I can't stress this enough. If Nintendo rebuilds their library again for the Nintendo NX, I am going to go to their offices and punch every single person I see.
No, you need to bitch slap them, not punch them.
Oh, dude, you already have it on the Wii. You already have it on the Wii U. Just move it over. When I buy one game digitally on the Wii, I want it to work on my 3DS, my DS, my Wii U, and I don't know, my watch. I just want it to work on things. Why do they have to keep rebuilding the library? It's the most insane thing. Look, when you do it for new formats, it makes sense. Hey, this cartridge doesn't fit into this slot. This HD DVD doesn't work on anything anymore. Sure, I get it. You got to move something else. But this is digital. These are files. They weren't even that different. The Wii processor and graphics capabilities are so similar to the Wii U in terms of what it's actually running. I believe it's PowerPC architecture. Am I right on that?
Yes.
Because I don't. Yeah. So PowerPC architecture, dude. What do you want? is it IBM or is it Broadway in the Wii U or whatever, or was it the GameCube? Whatever it is, the GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U all have pretty much the same technology in it, and you literally made a different online service for the Wii and the Wii U because you wanted to get people angry. Maybe, dude, I bought digital games on the Wii. I just wanted them to transfer to the Wii U, and that couldn't happen. Oh, don't worry.
Yeah,
With the Wii U, you can turn on the original Wii, and then you can do stuff in SD. In SD.
Yeah, so
Nobody wanted when the Wii came out.
So that was fair. Like when you were buying the Wii U, if you had it already, they'd let you pay $1 to get an up-resed version.
But that wasn't on everything, though. That was only on games that they re-released on the Wii U. But to go along with what Shane is saying, is it almost feels like they are rectifying that situation with the new Nintendo account thing. Because A, it's going to link everything together, hopefully properly. They've already shown with some of the indie releases that cross-platform is cool. You know, that's a go. Couple that with the whole reward system for just playing games. So if you're playing the streaming service that we would like to see, imagine if you were rewarded for playing the streaming service with your My Nintendo account to get other things. Like it's mind-boggling.
It would be.
The potential is so high. It's just, if they live up to 50% of the potential that the three of us see, we're good.
And I'm sure we're not the only ones that see it.
Yeah.
I just want it to happen. I so desperately want to see. Look, it's so important that Nintendo really starts to utilize their classic library of video games, because we're in a position. I can go out right now and buy Klaus Nomi's debut album. Do you know who Klaus Nomi is? Okay, Klaus Nomi is incredibly unpopular and unknown. At one point, he did the backing vocals with David Bowie on a single episode of SNL, and then he became popular for a little while. Okay, the fact I can buy a Klaus Nomi album, but I can't buy Snatcher, is unbelievable. Snatcher's a digital thing you could have just emulated on anything, and it's almost impossible to get on any platform. The fact is that Nintendo, companies like that, are not utilizing their old catalog and redistributing them. My God, they're all digital. It should have just been done, but it doesn't work that way. It is easier to go to an illegal website and download an NES game and emulate the thing than it is just to buy it from Nintendo in some cases, and that's not good. Nintendo needs to start taking their back catalog and library and start utilizing it. I want to turn on Netflix and watch a movie I've never seen before or heard before, and I can find those things on Netflix. But you can't find that kind of material, that kind of ease of access with Nintendo stuff right now, and that's got to stop. Nintendo's most powerful presence is their back catalog of classic video games, and they need to find a way to take that and bring it back to the consumer so it's easy for us to consume and easy for us to enjoy.
Well, and to follow up with that, it's to the point of where you can go to a website right now, and as long as you have a Flash player on your computer, you can stream anything from the NES to arcade games. So I mean, it's if these, or on a phone, like.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you something. Sean, Jason, you keep talking. Mark me. Start timing now.
Okay, Jason, you time. But I mean.
Well, what?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. All right, just tell me when you're timing. Okay.
Give me a stop.
Tell me.
What are we doing? Why am I? Okay, ready?
Time.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, but yeah, I mean, it's so easy, and the thing about Netflix is, with all the movies that are on Netflix, yes, you can go online and watch these movies just as easily, but you're paying for the convenience. You're paying for being able to sit on your couch and just thumb through a library of movies. Like, oh, I've never seen this before. Oh, this looks interesting. It's not necessarily the specific hunt. And that's why Netflix is so popular, and things like Hulu and whatnot are so popular, is because of convenience. You can watch The Simpsons online. You can watch every Seinfeld online, but to be able to watch it conveniently with a simple infrastructure to navigate through, it makes it worth the $8 or $9 a month, because it's convenient. It's why convenience stores exist. It's why convenience stores sell soda and milk, because you don't want to go to the gas station. The grocery store. People pay for convenience all the time.
I don't know. Gaming's a bit different.
Okay.
Like, we all have... Like, I'm just thinking if I had access to all the Nintendo games, yeah, it'd be cool. I'd be excited. But after 2 months, would I still be excited? We all have huge gamer backlogs where we can't even keep up with all the new games coming out because there's just so much to play.
I will
game...
say,
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The games of the past, I don't think would appeal at all to mainstream audience. You try to play an NES or Super Nintendo game, most of them are way more harder than we remember them.
Unfortunately for you, I have numbers to back up that is incorrect. Because if you look at the most popular selling Wii U games, eShop games, it's consistently older titles, consistently virtual console games on both the 3DS and the Wii U. Indie titles will creep in there.
Wait.
Indie titles will be there for a week or two. The only one that's been substantial is Minecraft. But in general, it's always games like Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World,
Time.
Super Mario Metroid.
Right, what are we doing?
What's the time?
See what I just did right there? Hold on. Screen's a little dark. See if I can get that fast.
What are we looking
Hey,
at
see
here?
what I just did?
Ooh.
I just downloaded GoldenEye 64 and got it running on my cell phone in that time. I did not have the emulator. I didn't have the ROM. I just did that right now on my cell phone, and it is impossible to do something like that on any Nintendo platform that exists right now. Can you tell me why that's a possibility right now?
For the record,
That's
that took him 2 minutes and 1 second.
okay, that's stupid. The fact that right now I can look, I'm actually playing it. I can actually do this. I can emulate the entire game, download the game for free right now, and do all of this easy. It doesn't even take that long to do. This is stupid. The fact
Is that
that this
actually
happening?
It's actually
Oh,
enjoyable to play on touchscreen.
No. Touchscreens are not fun to play games on, guys. But, like, seriously? Like, look, this is it running, for real.
Yeah, that's cool. So you got the emulator, you found a ROM, you got it all connected?
ROM and emulator all there in about 2 minutes. Now, seriously, guys, okay? The fact that I can do that on my phone means there needs to be a better service than Nintendo can provide. The fact that I can do that is not okay. That's bad. Nintendo needs to be the one doing this kind of stuff, and they're not.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally cool. What were you saying, Sean? About your numbers?
Oh yeah, look at sales for look at like Wii U eShop charts, and tell me what 90% of the eShop charts what the games are. They're old games. They're virtual console games.
Okay, look at the Wii U audience today. That is not mainstream audience. Most people who own a Wii U are Nintendo fans who have a bias to old Nintendo games. If you give the Wii U to 100,000 what am I talking about? 100 million consumers. Okay, yeah, sure, they're going to download Mario more than the indie games. It has a stronger brand presence.
Okay. You are basing it on speculation. I am basing it on available data. Good sir. Good sir.
Data can be skewed any way you want it.
You would know, Mr. Nintendo, in numbers. By the way, where did that go? Anyways.
Oh, you did not.
I will say one thing about the potential streaming service. I would like to see it. I wouldn't like to see everything on there all at once. I would like to see it like Netflix, where it cycles out but a hefty amount of games, like not like, oh, here's 4 NES games, here's 4 Game Boy games. No, I want a good selection of stuff, but they should cycle it out to keep everything fresh, because you got it. To me, you have to keep some sending, and I want to see Japanese games on there too. They've done Japanese releases on the eShop, like Sin and Punishment, things like that. So I would like to see those as well. I would like to see, just anything like companies like Capcom, Konami, Sega. These are big companies with amazing backlogs and amazing libraries from back in the day that, that's not just console games that we've all played, but it includes a lot of awesome arcade games and stuff too, that you could easily, as long as it's not like a licensing thing, like something like Ninja Turtles, I'm talking about like original IPs, you can easily put that on there, and it would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome. I agree with you.
Oh, it's already 9.
Yeah, I completely lost track of where we were even heading with this. But yeah, cool move there, Shane, with GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously, guys, I'm going to explain a little bit of this too, just so people can understand. I support buying these games from the actual companies. Every single way you can do it. For me, when you emulate something, if a company has taken their time to figure out how to properly emulate it, the original source or the person that's owning the copyright rights or whatever, they're usually the ones that are going to do the best job of it, and it will stand out the best. I honestly feel that's the truth, because maybe it's not the truth every single time, but 9 times out of 10, it's usually done quite well. Seeing the HD port of a Perfect Dark for the N64 and bring it over to the Xbox 360 and Xbox One is beautiful. It's a beautiful port. Very well done. They improved the graphics and all that fun stuff too, and they made the game better to play, I think, and it's actually much more enjoyable now. And they removed all the frame rate issues. But when you see these old games that are tossed aside and not used, and the fact I can do that with a lot of games that just seem to be out in the verse and just not being utilized, GoldenEye is a special example because GoldenEye is locked up into so many different rights. Rare is owned by Microsoft. Sony owns MGM, and MGM owns the rights to 007.
Oof.
And Nintendo was the company that originally produced GoldenEye. So the rights on that game are just split amongst everybody. But other games, the fact that that's a Nintendo 64 game, that's not even that easy to emulate. The fact that I can do that on my cell phone just shows that Nintendo could easily do that on any platform they want. And they could make it work for a portable platform easily.
Well, there's even a new retro system that basically just uses it's actually a lot like the Retron 5 now that I'm thinking about it, because what their advantage is over current ones is they're doing CD-based systems, Amiga 32, Sega Saturn, allegedly, which I still have doubts about, PlayStation 1, things like that. So, I mean, I understand you can't tap into the Sony market, but I mean, if you could have like Sega Saturn games, Dreamcast games, like, I mean, they've been on other systems, but if you can encompass that into your subscription service, which is a real possibility, like that, man, God.
I could see Dreamcast. The thing is, most of the good Dreamcast games have already been taken and ported outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want you to, and I'm not trying to be mean. Name to me 3 Sega Saturn games.
Virtua Fighter.
Oh, dude, I love the Sega Saturn. Virtua Fighter, Die Hard Arcade, Mr. Bones.
That's
Die Hard
3.
Arcade is never. That's a licensing issue right there.
Daytona USA.
But that's been ported already.
Yeah, it was upright. It was. I like that.
And Virtua Fighter is already ported too.
Now, Virtua Fighter 2.
Virtua Fighter 2?
No, Virtua Fighter 2 hasn't, and that's the best in my opinion. You've got now the more obscure games are the better ones. Guardian Heroes.
Yeah, who's gonna buy those? Right, we're talking about the big ones. See that, but I'm telling you, that's the biggest problem with that, dude. Don't get me wrong, I love playing that kind of stuff, but that's why those companies are having those kind of issues, because they're like, who's really gonna, dude? You and I could sit down and talk Knights. Oh, absolutely, dude. We could sit down and we could be like, you know what? Sega CD had a lot of good things going for it, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to really make a system that actually plays Sega CD games and goes, that was worth it. Like, that was worth it. And they have to find a way to make it worthwhile. And I just don't think that's going to happen. Saturn's a hard one to go through because Saturn was not treated well in the West. It was just destroyed around here. It just didn't really work out for them. So, you know, Panzer Dragoon's a fantastic game. Honestly, it is. But it's like, you know, they could easily emulate that or port it to another system. But just don't see it happening.
So, guys, I hate to be that guy, but I kind of got to bring us back on track.
Go ahead.
So we just spent an hour on our main topic of NX. So obviously, to those who didn't see it in the chat, we will be continuing this podcast an extra half hour because Shane always brings an extra half hour with him. He's just that generous.
I have it in my pocket.
Yeah, I feel bad going from like NX rumors to this next topic, but the next big announcement last week was Detective Pikachu for the 3DS in Japan. How do you guys feel about that? So now we've got a new Pikachu who can actually talk, wears a nice little hat, walks on 2 feet all the time, even runs on 2 feet, drinks coffee, hits on women. And the basis of the game is you play as a detective solving mysteries.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it seems like a neat idea to take Pikachu and put him in a different spot, but for me, it's like, why not just make an original character?
Sean was upset. He just hates Pikachu. Detective
Oh, did he
Pikachu.
really? Oh.
He just...
Well, I mean, it's just for me. It's like, just make a new character. You don't have to use Pikachu. From a marketing standpoint, it doesn't make any sense to me because it's like, do you actually expect all the Nintendo fans that are Pokemon fans to go, oh, Pikachu, yeah, I want that to be a detective story? Like,
no. I just find they're milking. Like, why do you got to milk Pokemon so much? You got 700 other Pokemon to choose from. Like, we can diversify. We can move away from Pikachu. Could have Detective Charizard. Like, there's so many. That's not the best example, but you can have a lot of Pokemon that could have fit the role better.
yeah, I mean, I just think like Nintendo has so many back catalog of characters they could utilize. I feel like they could have just picked somebody else. Like, how about Gumshoe?
Who?
I think his name is Gumshoe. Hold on. Gumshoe NES. Remember that?
Oh, you're talking about a non-Pokemon character.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, yeah, that's Gumshoe is literally a detective.
Yeah.
He's a detective. He's a Nintendo character, and the way you play the game is use your zapper and you shoot things out of the way. He's literally a freaking detective. Why not use him?
Well,
Because people know who Pikachu is. Yeah.
it works.
Pikachu is also a freaking little rat that's electric.
I can't.
His fans don't care about detective stories.
Detective Kirby. I would have loved Detective Kirby. Someone in
No,
chess.
he doesn't talk.
Make him talk.
Physically.
Why
That's what I mean. Like, that's what he does. I like Kirby, but
He sucks. He doesn't blow.
sucks. He does both. He does both. Kirby sucks and blows. He does both. That's what he
It's
does.
very
Kirby
generous.
Kirby used to be cool though. Like
He
like
was.
not that he's not cool, but like when he first came out, like he was marketed as like a badass. Like if you remember those initial commercials, and then he just got so like friendly and stuff.
Oh my god, so many good suggestions in the chat right now. You've got Detective Ditto, Detective Link, Detective Lucario. Lucario seems to be the upcoming Pokemon of choice. I don't know why they're...
You can't have a Pokemon that doesn't speak as... So, okay, look, let me explain this. None of that makes sense. Detective Ditto, he would just... It can't be a Pokemon.
Why not? Why can't Pokemon talk? Look, we wouldn't be talking about it today if it was Gumshoe. If they're like, oh, we have a detective game called Gumshoe on the 3DS in Japan, nobody would be like...
They could make it work with marketing. They made a bunch of people go, "Ha! There's a game that you're plumbers, and you have to save a princess from a big Donkey Kong." They made that happen. They made you get into it. All it takes is good marketing. Just make a character. Take Gumshoe. Just take a character and go, look, Nintendo is bringing you a story-based video game about being a detective. But instead they went, hey, what's Pikachu doing? Put a hat on him. He's got to solve a murder mystery.
No, they also gave him a...
Cute, guys, but jeez.
They adjusted his attitude, too. I don't know if you saw the trailer. He's a little bit more rough around the edges in this one.
Sassy.
Yeah.
Okay, does Pikachu talk?
He does. Well, which one?
He does.
This one does.
Detective
Why?
Pikachu does.
Because
I
he's a detective. Actually, they...
Yeah.
Don't you even use that as a descriptor. That's why he talks.
I heard that...
That's like having a freaking relationship with your chair and your chair talks. Or, one day your cat starts talking to you going, what's up, Jason? You go, not much, cat. Hey, you talk. And the cat goes, of course I did. Because, Jason, I'm a fucking detective. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay?
Well, they're actually saying there's a theory why he can talk, and this is why he doesn't have... I don't know how legit this is. I read this somewhere. But apparently this Pikachu cannot use, like, Thunderbolt, Tackle, or anything, because all that energy went into talking.
You removed... You can't.
Okay, look, Pikachu is... It's a breed.
No. The ability to fly. He's also evil now, and he can't shoot lasers from his eyes. What he does is he bakes cakes really well, and he's a detective.
Sure, but Pikachu is not a unique character. You forget he's a breed. It's not like saying it's Mario. It's like saying, let's get another plumber and call that detective other Italian name.
They didn't choose it because he was a breed. They chose him because he's Pikachu.
Because he's Pikachu.
Everybody that's going to be playing that game is going to go, hey, that's the Pikachu from the show that hangs out with Ash. That's what they're thinking. They're not just going, Oh, well, that's Pikachu's cousin. You know, the one that solves murder mysteries. Jeez. What is this? This is just stupid, man. Like, and you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it for existing. Yeah, I'm for it. But dude, come on. I just can't. It can't be this way. Nintendo is too good of a company to just make, because you're basically going Metroid the Detective, and it's literally a Metroid that doesn't talk,
Well,
and he just kills people. You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be
it's just-
interesting.
I
The
like
convert.
this one comment. I want my Pikachu to accept dirty money and beat prostitutes.
Hey, you guys wanted more mature Nintendo content?
I mean,
What's Pikachu doing to that lady? Well, that's not the Pikachu you know, son.
that's his cousin.
That's his cousin, Pikachu Fred. Yeah, he's high on meth.
So, let's get to a serious topic on this. So, Detective Pikachu, you feel that this was a missed opportunity to push a new IP, and Nintendo kind of falling back to their selective catalog of, they always fall back on the same IPs instead of, well, I can't say they don't try to grow new ones. Splatoon, case in point.
Remember that one game with the hammer, Project Hammer?
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
Project Hammer was supposed to come out. It was made by basically an American subsidiary of Nintendo, and it was like the last thing they ever did. Liam from Unseen 64 did a big thing on it.
So what was it? I still don't
Didn't
follow.
come out, is what happened.
It was a Wii game that was a new IP that was really interesting looking, I guess. And an American subsidiary of Nintendo. I don't remember which group it was making it, but there was a lot of clashing with Nintendo of Japan. There was a lot of belittling and things like that, according to Liam's story from Unseen 64. And he's a pretty reputable guy, like Liam. And so that's why the game never came out. It never met their quality standards. And I mean, it's not like that's not uncommon. Disaster Day of Crisis was the same thing, which is a shame because I would have loved to play that fucking game. And I honestly still want to play it. I may end up hacking my Wii to be region free so I can buy that game and play it because it looks really interesting.
I do want to point out, Video Game Guru 64 brings up a good point. It's not actually completely Nintendo. It is the Pokemon company that owns all those rights and probably made those decisions to put a hat on Pikachu and take away his abilities and make Shane very happy about that.
I don't doubt that. I know that there's somebody right now in Nintendo's office who's just sitting with his head down trying to think of the next idea for a game, and he just goes, guys, I got this great idea. Okay, Pikachu is a journalist. He smokes an e-cigarette, and he listens to Nina Simone. And what he does is...
Keep going.
He uncovers a murder mystery plot, and we get one of the guys that wrote The Wire to write it. I would...
idea. We should have a show or something one day, like ideas that were left on the Nintendo cutting room floor.
This is one, and then somebody picked up the idea and went, hey, what's this gem doing on the ground? Pikachu's wearing a hat.
Well,
ran away as fast.
You know what? When that initial trailer came out, there was some people that seemed to know about this. There were like some people were saying, "Oh, it's back." And I was like, "I've never fucking heard of this." People
What?
were like, "No, I remember hearing something about Detective Pikachu," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, you don't remember?" I'm like, "No."
I don't know. But could this be like another Pokemon Snap in the same vein, not gameplay wise, but Pokemon Snap was an offshoot of a typical Pokemon game.
Where is my Pokemon Snap?
And it was a good game, right? I actually saw a strategy guide today.
Pokemon Snap is a fantastic game, but let me remind you, Pokemon Snap isn't Pikachu talking to Professor Oak going, "Hey, Professor, I went and took a picture of two dittos mating in some fields, huh? How about I slide you those pictures on the down low? You pass me a couple of those nice evolution rocks. I got a hot date with a Pichu, but you won't even touch me unless I'm 3'6". You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yes, please. Oh my God! Screw the cutting room floor idea. We're doing a Detective Pikachu voiced by Shane show.
So it looks like she was murdered. Pretty horribly, too. her chest has been split open with 2 butter knives. You know, butter knives, they don't cut as well as a steak knife does. So she probably had the town. She was probably alive for the first couple of hours. The kid is on the 3DS throwing up at this point, and Pikachu's going, now what you have to do is use the stylus on the bottom to open
no.
and find out where the hidden item is in her belly. Like, come on.
I really want Detective Pikachu to be just like a port of LA Noire with Pikachu.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would, well, you saw people are asking for. There's like a big petition to have Danny DeVito be the voice of Pikachu.
Oh my god! No, I'm sorry. It just goes Pikachu's standing over a dead body in the forest or in like a park, and he's like smoking a cigarette, and he just goes, "It's the Black Dahlia again." And then it just, you know what I mean? Come on, man. It's just.
It'd be perfect. That would sell so well.
No, it wouldn't, because kids wouldn't buy
Screw the kids. You're not selling it to the kids. You're selling it to us.
Do you guys get what I'm trying to say here? The brand edition, the brand idea of what Pokemon is supposed to be for a specific genre, a specific group of kids that are into that game. The moment you turn it into something else, like, okay, would you buy and look, everyone in here that's old enough, don't, okay? Because I know what you're going to say, and yes, you would want it just to make it funner. Funner's not a word. You would buy Pokemon Helps You Do Your Taxes, the video game, okay? Pikachu just goes, Pika, 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 because he can't talk, okay? But anyway, he just keeps doing that, and he's like helping you do your taxes. We might buy that, but kids would be like, what is our taxes? And they wouldn't know, and they wouldn't buy it.
They'd be interested in learning what you're doing with that tax program, though. Educating the future. Pokemon. Next topic. You guys ready?
Gandhi, I don't know.
I wear a bit more clothes. All right, our next topic is Twilight Princess for tonight. What'd you say?
He wore enough.
Gandhi. Twilight Princess. What do we know? Sean.
It's a video game.
Twilight Princess HD. We got some new information. They've improved Epona. They've improved chests that you open, and not with butter knives. And swimming was improved as well.
Yes. Basic, just little enhancements that will improve the overall game, along with the stuff we talked about last week, where it's easier to switch to link form to wolf form and whatnot. So just little enhancements to make it a better overall game. So that's cool.
So yeah, one thing that they were pointing out is if your wallet was full and you tried to open a chest with a rupee in it, the chest would stay closed. So they removed that because it made it harder to know if you were in that room before or not. So that makes the gameplay a little bit more smooth. So I'm happy to see Twilight HD getting a little bit of adjustments to make the gameplay better.
Are you going to give Link a voice?
Not in Twilight Princess.
Why not?
Why
They
would?
can give Pikachu a hat and turn him into a detective and give him a voice. Why can't Link just be voiced by somebody? Why can't Link be the one being voiced by Christopher Walken? Why not?
Maybe in a new game, we can discuss a new game with Link, not Twilight Princess.
Princess Zelda, I gotta say, hot stuff. I love the way you run your kingdom.
You really make me howl. Turn him into a wolf.
How can you be that man that's a wolf and a human at the same time? Zelda, I'm here to save you for the Triforce.
Oh god, we're not gonna do this. Last headline. Mighty Number 9 delayed again. Sean is happy to hear this, aren't you?
Whoopity fucking do!
So yeah, unfortunately, Mighty Number 9 was delayed due to network modes.
Hey, wait, hold on back to Detective Pikachu. Adam Welker in the chat said that he thought he remembered a Kotaku article on Detective Pikachu, and he actually just tweeted it to me from October 2013. Pikachu gets a speaking role in upcoming Pokemon detective game. So this is a thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey guys, 2013 Nintendo. Hey guys, should we cancel this project? No, I think people want the game where Pikachu is a detective wearing a hat. Get Danny DeVito on the phone. We need a voice actor. If he doesn't show up, just get Ernest Borgnine or some shit. I don't care. Just someone. I don't even care. Anybody you got? Tom Hanks? Is he free? I don't care. I want him to voice.
Yes.
Somebody. Michael J. Fox. Bruce Campbell. Someone.
All right. So those are the last of our headlines. Now this is a section. Oh my God, we've never gone so long in headlines before. But this is usually the section where we go into the Nintendo Fan Showcase. Lucky for you guys, I don't have one tonight because I am
So
extremely disorganized.
I'll just do mine. I have a couple. Basically, this kind of this is good because this kind of falls in line with the Fine Bros doing what they did to Eric. This is a member of a Nintendo community that I'm in that unfortunately when they were young, like a baby, they suffered a horrific accident and their physical appearance was affected by this. And so they get a lot of shit sometimes, but they actually do artwork. And I really enjoyed their artwork and some people were giving them shit. And so call it whatever you want. I decided that I wanted to bring attention to this young individual because they probably get enough shit in life that it's probably good that they get something positive in their life. So this person is called Young KNGA. They are a Nintendo fan based out of New York. I am sharing their
Putting it up now.
Jason's putting up the pictures, and that link that I just put in the chat is their art page where they do art. A lot of drawings, a lot of illustrations on the computer. Very cool stuff. I definitely dig it, and they're a super cool individual that definitely deserves a lot of support and a lot of respect for overcoming adversity in their lives. And it's always good to do things for those who probably don't get a fair shake at life for whatever reason. So make sure you check out their artwork, check out their page for me as a favor to me. I would really appreciate it.
Sean always sticking up for everyone.
And they're in the chat room right now, so be sure to say hey to them. They're in the chat room right now, and I think they might have a YouTube channel. Check that out as well. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff.
That's awesome. Thanks for bringing that up, Sean, and sorry to everyone that I didn't participate today. I had a rough week.
Is this just calling out a channel you like?
It's any creator in the Nintendo community, whatever they create, something that you want to highlight that's theirs. Whether it's an artist, a YouTube channel, a composer, someone who makes crafts, a crafty Koopa, anything you want. Do you have something, Shay, that you want to showcase?
I pay attention to the Nintendo community enough. You think I'd know somebody just off the bat that does something that's really cool with Nintendo, but I can't think of anybody that actually makes things at the moment. Get back to me in a second.
Yeah, it's no problem. We kind of sprung that on you. Sean and I usually prepare a few days ahead on this when we research. Yes, Edwin, Sean beat me this time.
Always.
Oh, yes.
All right, and now we get to the final part of our podcast. This is the question rounds, where everyone in the chat, you can stop interacting between yourselves and throw your topics and questions up at us. Whether it's a question for Sean, Shane, myself, all of us together, anything for anyone listening that you just want to hear some general thoughts about, put it out there. And we'll pass it up. Talk about it. So for the guys in the room, there is usually about a minute lag before questions start pouring in. So if you have anything to say it now.
You know what? I'm just going to say this because this has been asked a lot. There's a SpongeBob SquarePants musical happening, like a live-action musical. And there's a picture, and the picture has somebody that's like this. And everyone is saying that's me. Okay, guys, I've seen the picture. Yes, it does look like me. But I don't have huge-ass buck teeth like that. So it freaks me out. That's my nose.
Whoa, where's this picture? Can you link me? Link me on Facebook in the chat.
I'm just gonna...
Send it. I'm putting it up on here. Come on, where is it?
Okay, hold on. I'll just find out.
SpongeBob musical?
Musical.
Sean, start answering questions. Do you love that guy that's asking you?
Of course I love you, Jeremy, but I'll scare the shit out of you like Jordan does every night.
There you go. It's in the chat there.
What chat?
Let's see.
Oh, this chat.
Most anticipated indie game of 2016 for all of you. Definitely Ukulele.
Wait, are we?
That kind of supersedes the traditional indie. I can't talk tonight.
Sorry, is this just your lower half? Like, Shane? It's just a picture of a half the face?
It's just a picture of half the face, yeah.
Oh, I thought there'd be more to it than that.
There's another picture somewhere online. I just don't care enough. Somebody asked. There was a question. I just missed it.
What are we going to see from
sorry,
Sonic?
the indie games from 2016.
Yeah, most anticipated.
Boy, most anticipated game of 2016. It would probably be The Witness, and I still haven't played it. So yeah, I guess The Witness up until this point, but one that hasn't come out yet. I guess. I don't know. I'm sort of looking forward to whatever the heck is gonna happen with Mighty Number 9. Like, I'm actually curious about that. But
like if it's going to come out, or if it's
going to be good. That's what I'm curious about. I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm curious to see what happens. It's been a long time in the oven. Is the bread good or is it burnt? You know, I'm curious to see how it works.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mediocre, personally.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be fun, but it'll never live up to expectations. Let's see here.
I have a question. If I was liking Xenoblade Chronicles X, I'm enjoying it, but I saw a lot of 9s, 9.5s. I don't think I would have scored the game that high, but I'm only in Chapter 4. But
you're way too. Game.
I am, but the game does feel dated in some senses. Like visually, it's stunning, but I probably need to download those packs because I got enemies popping up around me randomly, just like grass is.
Really?
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It was never. I mean, yes, it happened when I'd fast travel. But as far as me just like running around, never happened.
Yeah, me just running around all the time. What I do like, though, our reviewer, Jono, didn't like the music. I actually like the soundtrack. I find all the tracks are appropriate where they're played, and I enjoy
It's kind
that.
of like hype music for the fights and stuff. You got to remember, Jono was a huge Xenoblade fan, so it would probably never live up to his expectations, where I was a mediocre. I appreciated Xenoblade. I wasn't in love with it, whereas Xenoblade Chronicles X, I loved a lot more. What else do we
Hang on. Edicus saying we missed him. What's his... Do you think Star Fox Zero will get a port on the NX? Do you think Metroid will get a 30th anniversary? And do you think Pokemon Z will get announced before E3, during, or after?
Wow. What was the first part? Star Fox?
Star Fox on X. Will it be ported?
No.
Do you think Metroid will get a 30th anniversary?
Yes.
Do you think Pokemon Z will get announced?
What Pokemon? What?
Z. So you've got XY that exists. Is Z?
Yeah, for sure.
Before...
I don't think you'll see a traditional Pokemon release this year. I think they're going to take a year off.
Okay.
With Pokemon Go and Detective Pikachu and the re-releases of stuff, maybe a traditional Pokemon on the NX sort of thing, but I don't think you'll see the traditional handheld Pokemon.
Okay. All right, let's get...
If the NX actually ends up being a cross-platform home console and mobile system, Pokemon Z will be the first multi-platform game to actually be a home console game and a portable game. Think about that.
And what a perfect game to do it.
Yep.
So what games do you think Namco will bring to the NX?
I would love to see a Tekken.
Oh.
I would love to see, of course, a Smash Brothers, because it's Bandai Namco now. Namco has a lot of IPs, abandoned IPs, so I think there's a lot of room for them to do stuff.
Yep. Okay,
I
gotta go.
haven't really thought about it too much, honestly.
Just trying to get through these faster. Do you think that Zelda will actually release on Wii U, or will it be a launch title for the NX? I think we're going to see it on Wii U.
It's Wii U. Whatever happens with the NX, I don't even think you'll necessarily see it launch. On the NX. I think it'll launch on the Wii U. Maybe down the road, an enhanced version will come to the NX, but I don't think. No, it's coming to the Wii U. It's a swan song for the Wii U.
Rerez 2.0 is launching soon, so Shane will start uploading soon. Oh, interesting comment. The controls.
How did you know?
I was just reading a comment. I think.
Who are you? Where's Soul Calibur? How about a new Soul Calibur? Give me a damn Soul Calibur on the NX.
I could deal with that.
And a Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer is a staple for console lineups because it always showcases a high graphical resolution at launch for a game because it's just an arcade racer. Give me a Ridge Racer on the NX, baby. I love Ridge Racer.
Go
I
rant.
want a Zelda maker.
Ooh, it's only too hard. All right, question. Sean, I know you didn't like Final Fantasy Explorers, but do you recommend it for hardcore fans of the series? And does it have any value at all?
It's not that I didn't like it. I just thought it was very mediocre. Hardcore fans of the series, I feel like you might be a bit disappointed that it's essentially Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy skin. You probably will appreciate the costumes, the items. There's a Cloud costume in there, which is pretty interesting. There's Sephiroth's weapon, which is pretty cool. If you go into it with an open mind, hardcore Final Fantasy person could like it. Contrary to popular belief, I love Final Fantasies on handhelds. I love the original Final Fantasy series, the ones on the Super Nintendo, NES. So I don't consider myself not to be a Final Fantasy fan. Although I don't like what they've done with the console versions lately. But it's not a bad game. It's just I don't think it should be a $40 game. If it's like $20, pick it up, dude. $25, totally worth it. But at a $40 game, no.
All right, from Adam, we got a question. With Pokken Tournament coming to the Wii U, do you think it'll burn out and die or come to NX later? I think it's going to live because of the esports scene. It seems like Nintendo is setting themselves up for Pokken Tournament to be as popular as Smash in the esports scene. So if that takes off, it's going to be solid.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously standing behind it. So, more power to them. I hope it works out well.
All right, and I think that's going to be enough questions for tonight because we are an hour and a half in. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with us. I do want to put out a little... we're going to talk about it as we wrap up.
You're going to put out?
I will not put out for you, ever. Anyways, thanks for joining us, guys, on Class vs. Crass. I also hope that...
I'll put out for you, Sean.
I got the better of the two Canadians.
Yeah, you guys have all the fun you want together. I hope you live a happy life together and have beautiful babies. All right, so for our sign-off, Sean, what can we expect from you this week?
Tuesday, it's going down. My damn project that I've been delaying is finally going down on Tuesday. Put it to the books. You'll see it Wednesday or Thursday, whenever Jason's finished editing it. Because
what? I'm editing this?
No, you're just doing overlays. Remember, we talked about this.
Oh.
Because I can't do overlays because I'm a terrible YouTuber. You're just doing like the text at the bottom, like the little text.
Yeah. Okay,
so that's coming out this week. We got a couple reviews in the pipelines for some indie games that I got to whip on the boys to get. I'm finally I've had an article written for a while about 3 third-party companies I want to come to the NX and why. I kind of put it on the back burner even though it's finished because I wanted to wait for kind of NX stuff to die down a little bit on a couple social media forums because there's just a lot of NX articles. But I'm definitely going to release that this week. And who else knows? I mean, there'll always be news coming out for me. There'll always be shit on the side channel. I got to do my X-Men versus Street Fighter at some time. And who knows? Maybe someone else will piss me off and I'll start yelling about them.
Great. Always looking forward to you yelling. Shane, what can people expect from you? Where can they find you if they don't know you? Put your plugs.
My name is Shane. I'm from Rerez. You can go to rerez.net. We'll take you straight to the YouTube page, or you can just go to youtube.com/RerezTV. I can be followed on Twitter at RerezTV. I can be followed on Facebook at facebook.com/RerezTV. And pretty much anywhere, I'm either Rerez or RerezTV.
And what can people expect for content?
People. And we are going to be having a lot of fun next week because we're producing tons and tons and tons of content for a big bunch of releases coming in February, and they're not going to stop. We're just going to keep on releasing videos because soon Positives is going to come out as a weekly show.
What?
Every Monday.
Exciting.
Yeah. Every Monday, going to come out. Actually, Jason, would you like to say what your role is going to be in it?
Oh, can we talk about this now?
Look, he was I'm sitting here like he's
It was obviously sarcastic. Come on.
No, it wasn't. You were going to play along with it.
I wasn't. Do you want to talk about it? All right, Sean, you okay with this?
Yeah, I don't care, of course.
All right. So Shane and I are combining our forces. I'm going to be helping Shane as co-producer over on Rerez. And, helping him get more shows out. But that will not affect my role here at Nintendo Enthusiast. Still going to be bugging Sean. Still going to be making some awesome content. Having Shane nearby, you might see him a little bit more on Nintendo Enthusiast helping us out from time to time.
I'll tell you one thing, guys at home. It's so important to have a producer. It's so important because sometimes, like many of you know, I say words wrong. And
Karina.
yeah, or Karina. And see, Jason will catch that, and he'll go, "Hey, Shane, you moron, Karina, say it with me now, Karina." So he'll help me with that stuff, and
This is
plenty
what it
of
looks
other
like
things.
too.
Yes, right there. What we're gonna plan to do with Rerez is release more content than we've ever released before, more regularly on a schedule, and it's not all gonna be on my shoulders. It's gonna be shared amongst a group of 4 people, and I'm in that 4 people, by the way. But if you guys like Rerez in the past, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Got a lot of exciting stuff planned. I'm pushing Shane to get some script stuff. We've got videographers, we've got editors. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a lot of good shows, and Nintendo Enthusiast is going to benefit from kind of this working
I'll
together.
help out on Nintendo Enthusiast. You guys want me on podcasts? I'll be on podcasts. You guys want me to review a Nintendo game? I like that Tetris. Is that Nintendo? I don't know. I don't know Nintendo consoles. I like the console that has the CD and there was and Sega games. Wait, that's not. I like Nintendo.
Sounds good.
That's all you need to say.
Yes. All right. And then was that it, Shane, for your sign off?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
So yeah, do look out for, hopefully in February you're going to see more Shane stuff, and maybe I'll pop up there. Probably not though for the first few months. Over on Nintendo Enthusiast, what am I working on? I've got some videos, but honestly they are big ones, so I don't see them coming out this week. We do have that fun thing that you and I are doing, Sean.
Oh, that's true. You gotta.
Yep.
You gotta
So anyway, we do have the new Nintendo 90. I hope you guys like the new format. We've been trying stuff out, and we've pretty much merged now Indie Corner along with Week in Review into the same show. So I hope you guys like that. And yeah, we're going to keep improving this channel and making some good stuff. So we'll see you on the future show or next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on Class vs. Crass. Take care, guys. Make sure to stay classy, or as Sean will put it,
keep it crassy and fuck the fine bros. I'm out.
Waka waka ding dong.
I got nothing to sign off on.
That's fine.